Nancy, I think you're on mute.
Okay, that was a classic one. I'm going to start again. Hi, it's Nancy Sarah, Superintendent. I hope you had a great week so far. The weather's been really kind to us, except for the first day of school, of course. And I just want to welcome, we'll be introducing you to some of our community providers that help us with the after-school programming. In addition to our Director of MIS and Transportation, Rich and Jeff, who will be walking you through how to use one of our apps. Was that right, Jeff?
Yep, we're going to go over the transportation app, but I'm also going to show a few more features within PowerSchool this year based upon feedback from the parents.
Perfect. And so we have a whole host of people here. I'm going to have Myra, our partnership coordinator, introduce some of the folks that are here today, and then we're going to turn it over to Jeff and to Rich for a bit to show you what we have with our new apps. Myra, you're up.
Buenas tardes. Queremos darles las gracias por estar con nosotros esta noche y por participar en nuestro Town Hall. Queremos introducir al director de transportación y también al director de tecnología que va a repasar hoy la aplicación para transportación y también la aplicación de PowerSchool y actualizaciones que se han hecho en la aplicación. También queremos presentar y introducir a miembros de nuestra comunidad que trabajan para programas de después de la escuela. En este momento tenemos el departamento de Parks and Rec, tenemos el departamento de OIC y también tenemos Pathway Senderos y el programa del YWCA, que están aquí para darles un poquito de información sobre los servicios que ellos proveen para los estudiantes de nuestro distrito escolar.
Thank you,
Go ahead,
Myra.
Nancy. I just introduced the after-school partners now.
All right. Do you want to introduce them, and then we'll have them have Jeff take on? Actually, their names are right there. I'll introduce. We have Paulette Fox, who's the Executive Director of OIC, Opportunities Industrialization Center. I hope I got that right. It's a mouthful. We have Megan from Parks and Rec. She's been with us for many years. And we have Lindsay across the screen, also from New Britain Parks and Rec. We have Joanna Figueroa from the YWCA. And I saw Nick a minute ago. He's not here right now. But we have Nick Jakubowski. He has a real pretty background matching. I think it matches his bandana as well. And they'll be talking to us a little bit about some of the after-school opportunities that they have available for our kids this year. Myra will also be talking a little bit about some of the things that we're doing within the school, including Parks and Rec, OIC, YWCA, and Pathways. And Myra, do you want to translate? Then we'll turn it over to Jeff. I'm not sure she can hear. Myra, can you hear us?
Yeah, I'm sorry. What was that? I'm sorry. Can you repeat that again?
Sure. I
didn't
know if you wanted to translate or if you were all set. And now I'll turn it over to Jeff if you're all set.
Yep, I'm all set. Yep.
All right, Jeff, you're up. Thank you.
Thanks, Superintendent Sarah. Matt, could you launch the presentation for me, please? So, good afternoon/evening, everyone. We just wanted to take the opportunity when I was invited on last week to go over some of the changes to the PowerSchool parent portal, some of the new features we've added in hopes that some of the recurring questions and looks for information may be easier at your fingertips at this point. So, first and foremost, thank you for everyone who's already created their parent portal account. We appreciate it greatly. We certainly have instructions for those that haven't done it, though, right through our district website, csdnb.org, under the PowerSchool section. You'll see a parent portal overview and videos in English, Spanish, and Arabic to help guide you through that process. Access IDs and passwords, we did mail them out for any family that did not have the parent portal already created. We had done that last week, or actually probably the week before, around the time the bus letters went out. But if you do still need the access ID and password, which are the items you use to connect the account you make to add your student to them, you'll have to contact the school for that. Teachers often get asked to produce that information, but due to the security constraints within PowerSchool, when they try and print that information, it comes out jumbled and masked in terms of the password. So it's best to contact your administration or the main office at the school for that information.
Thanks, Jeff. I'm going to have Myra translate that.
El señor Jeff estaba hablando sobre el portal de padres de PowerSchool y algunos cambios y actualizaciones que se han hecho para este año. Para obtener las instrucciones para usted crear su cuenta, si aún no la tiene que entrar a nuestra página de internet, que es CSDNB.org. Y si usted mira esta pantalla, tiene que ir a la sección donde dice PowerSchool y luego donde dice portal de padres en PowerSchool. Hay un video que está en inglés, en español y en el lenguaje arábico por si usted necesita ayuda. Si usted no tiene un portal de padres, se le envió una carta por correo con la información de la contraseña y la identificación de acceso. Esta información es muy importante porque sin ella no va a poder obtener o abrir un portal de padres. Si usted no ha recibido esta información o la necesita, por favor, comuníquese con la escuela de su hijo para poder obtenerla. Desafortunadamente, los maestros no tienen acceso a esta información y ellos no podrán enviarle la información si usted se las pide a ellos. Así que le pedimos que por favor se comunique con la escuela directamente y hable con la secretaria para que ellos le puedan proveer esa identificación de acceso y también la contraseña que usted va a necesitar para poder abrir el portal de padres.
Thank you, Myra. And I already see a question coming in about bus tracking. And so when we get to that point, we will pause on that. But we will just press forward on a few other slides first, just to keep it in proper order. So once you're in on PowerSchool, thank you, Matt, you'll see a lot of navigation to the left side. A lot is pre-built into there, but others are enhancements from the district itself. So on the next slide, I kind of isolated the ones I wanted to talk about, and those being the transportation, the forms, the student reports, My School Bucks, food menus, and the school messenger messaging app for calls. So in terms of the transportation, which is the next slide then to bring up, in PowerSchool itself provides basic transportation placement information, and as well as the links and information regarding the resources outside of PowerSchool that provide parents that ability to track and see their buses in real time. I will say, as a parent, I'd use the app and give feedback to Mr. Valerio in terms of when I see it's not working and when it is working. And I know he's certainly done some work with the company very much recently. So as much as this is a way to see your information, Mr. Valerio can chime in to kind of give an update in terms of the app itself and what work has been going on the past day.
Okay, hi. Rich, before you go, Myra, can you just give a quick overview of what we're talking about here on PowerSchool?
Yes.
Thank you.
Matt, can you go back to the last slide so I can just go? Okay, so cuando usted abre el portal de padres, van a ver varias áreas importantes que usted va a querer tener acceso. Parte de esto ha sido información sobre transportación. Aquí usted puede ver la información de transportación y las instrucciones también en la aplicación de transportación. En este momento, toda la información ha sido actualizado en la aplicación de transportación. También hay formularios disponibles para los estudiantes. También tenemos aquí donde usted puede obtener la tarjeta de reporte escolar de su estudiante. También My School Bucks, que My School Bucks es una aplicación donde usted puede utilizar, es una tienda para hacer compras del distrito. Aquí es donde también paga el aseguro de su computadora. También puede encontrar el lugar donde puede encontrar el menú semanal de su hijo o hija. Y también School Messenger. School Messenger es muy importante. Esta sección ayuda a que usted reciba cualquier llamada importante que sea dada por el distrito escolar, ya sea por razones de emergencia o para notificarles a los padres que hay programas o servicios disponibles para estudiantes de nuestro distrito. El señor Rich Valerio en este momento va a hablar sobre la aplicación de transportación, que nosotros sabemos que han habido muchas preguntas y también han habido muchos problemas con la aplicación de transportación, y él va a explicar un poco de la aplicación esta. Go ahead, Rich.
Oh, hi, everybody. Okay, so with regard to the student data and the tracking app, we were doing a little bit of troubleshooting, and we discovered that some of the data was bad, and we removed it and reset the entire system. So everybody was reset to their basic username and password. And, at this time, we removed the ability to change those. So, it's back to basics to access. Now, what we have received vehicle data from the vendors a little bit on the late side, and we're still in process of importing it. So not all the vehicles are in. We have all of First Students vehicles in, and we have all the yellow buses for specialty in. We'll have all of specialty vehicles in by before next Monday. And so, if on Monday morning everything should be visible at that point, if something's not working, it's going to boil down to an individual GPS unit that's not working correctly, or an individual link for an individual GPS unit to the system that needs to be repaired or replaced. So we are making great progress. We were able to fix some problems, actually a majority of the problems, because our van traffic on specialty only is a small portion of the total. So if it's still not working by next Monday, then what we need to do is we need to take it to the next level with regard to troubleshooting.
Okay, so Rich, I want to just summarize for non-tech people.
Yep.
And this will help Myra, I think, hopefully a little bit too. So Bridget, you're asking why is the bus tracking not working if when I put my son's number in and birth date and it says no student found. Rich said when he said bad data, it means sometimes the data goes in and maybe instead of spelling street, it's STERET or something like that. There's a misspelling. There's something that's not correct. So as far as I know, Rich, it's reset. And so Bridget can try again. Is that accurate?
That is correct.
Okay, let's let Myra translate that.
Okay. Sobre la aplicación de transportación, nos dimos cuenta que alguna de la información que estaba dentro del programa estaba equivocada o estaba mal en el sistema, así que se hizo un reset y se removió toda esa información, y el nombre de usuario y contraseña se regresó al nombre básico que tenía antes. Ahorita todos los autobuses de First Student y School Specialty, la información ya ha sido actualizada. Desde anoche se hizo ese reset, así que la información debe de estar actualizada ya para hoy. También si usted tiene algún problema, así que toda la información debe de estar visible ya para su estudiante. Si aún sigue teniendo problemas después de la semana que viene, el lunes, entonces tendremos que revisar cuál sería o cuál es el problema que está causando de que usted todavía no pueda obtener o ver la información. Pero como dijo el señor Rich Valerio, la información se actualizó anoche. Toda la información debe de estar ya bien, y si miramos que sigue dando problemas, entonces tendremos que ver más en detalle qué es lo que está sucediendo.
Thanks, Myra. Jeff, you want to take it from there?
Absolutely. So as I got a few more slides here to go, I don't want to run out of time. So the next area that I wanted to bring a highlight to, we've already started using in the spring, and we were collecting data about returning to school surveys and such, and that's the forms area in PowerSchool. And we just launched the Student Tech Help Request form, which is a very reactive type form. In other words, questions will change based upon what you're filling out there, as a way for both our teachers and our admins, but also our students and our parents to be able to reach out for specific help for a student's account, all very specific to the student themselves and their needs. So we still have the parent help form on the DAB website, which still gets traffic, but we did have it start asking if you're asking for help for a parent versus a student, so that way we can direct student requests onto this form in PowerSchool.
You're up, Myra.
En la sección que usted acaba de ver donde dice formularios dentro de PowerSchool, ahí usted puede obtener una forma que se llama Student Tech Health Form, y ahí usted puede submitir preguntas, y también si tiene que comunicarse con la escuela, esta es una forma de poder hacerlo. También tenemos el formulario de Parent Help dentro de la página de DAB, que está en nuestra página de internet, en la página de csdnb.org.
You're on mute, Jeff.
I'm on mute. I'm sorry, but Marie,
And there's another
adequate.
question. There's another
Marie,
question. Yep.
your question about when the app, I would love for them to work together. It is a lot more complex, and it is a question that I throw out all the time to PowerSchool, when they will get an app that wrangles everything together. But the reality is, unfortunately, especially between iPhones and Androids, making a universal thing work like that is just not that simple. So you really have to still use the web page for a lot of features. As much as I don't like giving you that answer, that is our reality, unfortunately.
Okay. So Jeff, I see you have up on here the student tech help request form. Are you going to go over that?
Yes, in very brief ways, but I just have this one slide here. But this slide is good in that it kind of shows you the questions that we go through and asking. Do you have a problem with your device, or do you have a problem with the account? Does it need a minor repair? Does it need a major repair? It kind of works the parent or the student through the process and introduces them into the offering of device insurance if it's a need of a replacement, or offers you to purchase the replacement item, say like a broken charger on the My School Bucks store. However, I will say, as a parent, I bought my device insurance, and it's far the cost that we're putting for that, it's the far better deal than paying for lost items through the store itself. So I have to kind of give that promo that the insurance will be something folks should really consider.
So Jeff, I'm gonna have Myra translate, but then I have a question for you around the insurance.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, la página que usted está viendo aquí, o ustedes están viendo aquí, es el formulario para poder pedir asistencia tecnológica en referente a los Chromebooks. Si, por ejemplo, usted tiene un problema que el Chromebook no está funcionando, se le ha roto, o necesita que repararse, usted puede utilizar esta página para poder hacer para pedir eso. También va a tener opción para comprar aseguro para el dispositivo y cubrir cualquier daño que se haga o si se llega a quebrar la computadora. Así que cualquier problema técnico que usted tenga, o su hijo tenga, perdón, un request se puede meter dentro de este formulario para poder pedir asistencia y que ellos se comuniquen con usted en ayudarle con ese problema.
Thanks, Myra. And so I guess a couple of things. One, we always are trying to be conscious of the taxpayer dollar, and we know that the devices, and now we're one-to-one. I mean, that's probably, it was a dream we had envisioned maybe 5 or 6 years down the road. COVID kind of sped that up a little bit. But we have to make sure that we're trying, and again, kids are kids, things are going to happen. But I just know when something breaks on my computer, the cost to have it repaired, versus if you go with the student insurance, which you can sign up right here, it covers it covers these parts. And so, Jeff, do you want to talk a little bit about the insurance and the cost of it?
Sure. So the insurance, we're charging $20, trying to be reasonable with our costs, and it's going to give you 2 claims of coverage to use throughout the school year, meaning examples of coverage would be a broken screen, or a lost charger, or a broken charger for your device, keyboard is damaged and needs to be replaced, your touchpad. Basically what it does not cover is a full destruction of the device itself, which would be a full replacement. But in terms of the cost at $20, that is definitely a target price that is lower than a lot of districts around us, because we've been comparing and seeing what other districts are charging. And, you know, it is voluntary, but it is certainly worth the value that the cost of the $20 will produce, because to buy a charger on your own at Best Buy is going to be about $50, and that is the reality. So, you know, the idea here is to one, as Superintendent Sarah said, promote that responsibility and ownership of the device for our students and our families, but also try and provide reasonable, affordable services for the repairs that inevitably will have to happen at time again.
Okay, la información que acaba de dar el señor Jeff Prokop es sobre el aseguro. El aseguro cuesta $20 y esto cubre 2 reclamos por año, y esto significa que si se le quiebra la pantalla de la computadora, si perdió o si se quebró el cargador de la computadora, y también si el teclado no está funcionando o está roto, los $20 ayuda a cubrir eso. Usualmente el costo para reemplazar un cargador son $50, y nosotros estamos cobrando $20 para tratar de mantener el costo bajo para nuestras familias. Esto no cubre, desafortunadamente, si la computadora completa se llega a dañar y se quiebra, no cubre el reemplazo de la computadora, pero sí si hay algún daño de la computadora. Y esto es algo que usted puede encontrar dentro de la página de PowerSchool bajo Student Tech Help Request, donde usted puede agregar el aseguro para su hijo.
Thank you, Myra. I do see a question, why can't the laptops remain in schools, less likely to damage? Our experience last year is actually the key to least amount of damage is ownership by the students. We found in certain schools that in previous years went through a lot of damage by using carts to which the kids used them during the day. The kids took no ownership at those examples, would damage, put cart devices back in carts, and it would really become a costly event. In the one school I have in mind that I won't say, the damage last year went down considerably because of the fact that they did that. So in terms of ownership, having the device be your student's device for their history here, basically, as I've explained into some of the admins, that it's the device ownership model, not one that comes back even at the end of the year to where you get then something not in as great shape the following year based upon luck of the draw.
And Jeff, Miss Rios also came back and said that her daughter sent the charger to school and came back 2 days later without the charger plug. And my hope is that you contacted the school. Clearly that was a misstep on the school's part, and we should have provided you with another one. I think the insurance, go ahead, Jeff.
Oh yeah, no, the insurance would cover a replacement charger as one of the tickets, absolutely. And I do believe the guidance was best to send a charged Chromebook and leave your charger at home, because the battery charge is an 8-hour. And so if they are fully charged at night, they don't necessarily need to bring their chargers to school. In fact, I don't send my son to school with his charger, but I do every night make sure it is charging for him, or not for him. I make sure he's charging it, for that matter, as a 7th grader.
So yeah, this is welcome to the world of technology, right? And I think also, Myra, before you translate, to Jeff's point, it's really good that they have ownership of this device. They'll have this same device for 4 years. I mean, if they start in kindergarten, and they'll be replaced. A new device will be given to them when they're in 4th grade. 4th grade, they'll keep that till 8th grade, and then they'll get their high school one. And so, and again, I mean, and then that's at no cost to you, which is a nice thing. And then we encourage and expect the students to be using the Chromebooks or the laptops when they're home too, right? Even beyond school. It's a tech world, and we want them to get used to it. Myra, do you want to translate that?
Yeah. Hubo una pregunta sobre por qué no se pueden mantener las computadoras dentro de las escuelas en vez de que los estudiantes se los lleven hacia su casa. Y la respuesta fue de que nosotros vimos que hubieron más daños de computadora dentro de las escuelas que cuando los niños se los llevaban a su casa, porque cuando los niños se lo llevan a su casa es propiedad de ellos y ellos pueden obviamente cuidarlo mejor. Um, los cargadores, si uno tiene problemas con el cargador, se les está pidiendo que si por favor pueden cargar las computadoras en casa y no enviar los cargadores para la escuela. Usualmente los cargadores tienen cargan por 8 horas y si usted pone la computadora a cargar el día anterior, el estudiante no necesitará la computadora con el cargador al siguiente día de clase. Las computadoras, dependiendo del grado que los estudiantes están, se cambian. Por ejemplo, de cuarto al 8 grado, los estudiantes van a tener un Chromebook y después del 8º grado, cuando empiezan la escuela de high school, se les dan una laptop para poder trabajar. Como distrito, nosotros queremos que los estudiantes continúen trabajando y obviamente utilizando la tecnología en la casa y no solamente tenerlo en la escuela. Así que por eso nosotros sugerimos que es mejor enviar a los estudiantes con sus computadoras para que también tengan la oportunidad de utilizarlo dentro de sus propios hogares.
And Superintendent Sarah told me I have about 5 minutes left, so I'm going to get through my slides as fast as I can for some of these. So moving on to the next segment was student reports. I just wanted to make a point that this is where you're able to access your report cards as we move forward, and every report card that's been produced since the spring of 2020. Go ahead, Myra, real quick on that one.
Ok, la sección de reportes, como está viendo en la pantalla, es los reportes escolares de cada estudiante. Estos reportes son del 2020, de primavera del 2020. Aquí pueden accesar todos los reportes escolares de su estudiante. Y usted va a ver, como ve en la pantalla, están por escuela, así que usted puede seleccionar el que usted necesite y bajarlo para ver los grados y las calificaciones de su hijo o hija.
Next slide, please, Matt. So as mentioned, the My School Buck store is now open, and it's going to be the way, as you see, moving forward to purchase a lot of things within the district. But obviously, I'm going to show you from the technology standpoint. So just a couple slides here, real quick. Of once you first click that My School Bucks link over in the left side, is this page is going to open up, and it's going to have a Get Started button you have to click. And next slide, please, Matt. And go ahead, Myra, if you want to.
La página de My School Bucks es una página que cuando usted entra va a ser como es como una tienda donde usted puede comprar varias cosas. En este momento él está demostrando lo que es de la tecnología, pero aquí usted va a poder agregar o comprar ciertas cosas del distrito escolar. Cuando entra a la sección donde dice Get Started o Hay que empezar, para poder empezar el proceso del School Bucks, de la aplicación de My School Bucks.
So once you click that Get Started, the first thing that's going to appear is going to ask you if you're new School Bucks user or an existing My School Bucks user, because this will be the chance for you to link up if you already have an existing My School Bucks account. It will, in that blue button, ask you for your username and password, so you may want to get that in advance or reset it if that's something you don't know off the top of your head to do.
La sección que está viendo en este momento va a ver que van a haber dos opciones. La primera opción en verde es que si es primera vez que usted utiliza este programa, usted puede abrir una cuenta con My School Bucks. El cuadrito azul es un cuadrito para las personas que ya tienen un nombre de usuario y una contraseña. Usted puede seleccionar aquí para poder unir la cuenta anterior con la nueva cuenta que está viendo en la pantalla.
And the next slide, please, Matt. And just a view, once you get into the My School Bucks store and enter and browse the store, you can filter by category. That will grow over time, indubitably. But for now, there's technology services as one of the choices. You'll see a featured item is the student device insurance program, as well as we have available on there replacement charger or replacement protective case options as well.
Can you go back? I'm sorry, so I can go ahead and translate the last part, Matt. Sorry. La página que usted está viendo aquí es parte de My School Bus. Cuando usted entra, esta va a ser, ahorita esto es lo que está visible, que es la tienda para poder comprar el aseguro de las computadoras, para poder reemplazar un cargador o también para la bolsa que se utiliza en este momento para cargar las computadoras. También puede meter aquí pedir que se le dé una nueva utilizando esta sección.
And the next slide, please, Matt. Yep, there you are. Okay. So the last thing I have is just out of the feedback that I heard from the board meeting and parents was trying to get access to the school lunch menus. And this is the best way that I could do it. It's not as simple as providing a direct link, unfortunately, due to the way it's set up through Whitson's as a company. So what we did was if you click that school menu icon in PowerSchool, it loads up the actual FD meal planner site. I did put at the top of the page an instruction to put New Britain in the search bar. For example, if you just put in Lincoln, you're going to get about 500 Lincolns around the country, and you're going to have to try and find New Britain Lincoln at that. So they're all labeled with New Britain first. So if you just put in New Britain and hit enter, you will start to be able to find the school you want from there. I'll pause for Myra.
En esta sección está viendo el menú que se por escuela. Cuando usted seleccione o oprima donde dice Food Service Menus o menús para servicios de comida, usted puede poner la locación que va a ser New Britain. Cuando usted agregue la información de New Britain, va a ver una lista de escuelas que están dentro del distrito de nosotros para poder obtener la información sobre el alimento que se va a estar dando por semana para cada estudiante.
And just a few more screenshots of how it progresses. When you click, it'll ask you for a meal plan. If there's a breakfast and a lunch, there'll be multiple choices there. And once you click that and a little show menu page, it loads up to your actual menu.
Como él está demostrando en este momento, cuando usted va seleccionando en cada pauta que él acaba de enseñarles, esos son los pasos que tienen que tomar para poder ver el menú para la escuela semanal. Así que si tiene cualquier pregunta, igual, por favor, comuníquese con nosotros para dejarnos saber. Y esto está todo dentro del portal de padres. Por eso le pedimos a cada familia que, por favor, abra el portal para poder obtener esta información importante que usted puede obtener al alcance de su mano.
And Myra, you do have a question in the chat, and I'm going to try my hardest, but I think, hold on, let me find it. Asking about is it a one-time charge of $20, nothing more? And that's coming from Vanessa Lopez. So Jeff, you can answer it first and then we can translate.
So the $20 is yearly. So it covers you for the school year and it covers you for two insurable events, meaning those minor breaks or a lost charger or a broken charger, cracked screen. You would have 2 repair events that you could use for that year. The following year, you would have to purchase the insurance once again. Okay. So go ahead.
La pregunta fue que si los $20 es, ¿cuántas veces tiene que pagar los $20? Los $20 es cada año escolar. Y dentro de ese año, como por ejemplo, si usted paga este año, van a ser solamente por el año del 2021-2022. Y eso es para cubrir 2 reclamos, como se les mencionó anteriormente. Esos reclamos pueden incluir si se quebra la pantalla, si se quebra el teclado, o si se quebra o se necesita que reemplazar el cargador de la computadora. Para el próximo año escolar que venga, usted tendrá que volver a pagar esos $20, pero solamente se pagan una vez por año.
And that's the end of my slides.
Thank you, Jeff. I'm going to turn it over now because we do have about 30 minutes. I want to introduce our partners, and Myra, I'll give it to you from here.
Buenas tardes. Yo quiero presentarle en este momento a todos nuestros, a las personas que trabajan con nosotros dentro del distrito escolar, que son nuestros miembros de la comunidad. Antes de poder presentarles a nuestro panel, quiero hablar sobre el programa de Elevate. Elevate es un programa que va a empezar este año, va a ser 3 veces por semana y es un programa de tutoría que se va a ofrecer de parte del distrito escolar en incrementos de 6 semanas. Este programa va a ayudar a los estudiantes que han sido seleccionados y que pueden utilizar el soporte adicional para poder estar actualizados en sus áreas de matemáticas o leer o escribir. Elevate es un programa que, como le mencioné, va a ser para estudiantes que son seleccionados y usted va a recibir información pronto sobre este programa. También quiero, como mencionó la superintendente Sarra, presentarles a nuestros programas para después de la escuela. En este momento tenemos a Lindsay y tenemos a Megan, que vienen del departamento de Parks and Rec. Ellos trabajan con estudiantes de la escuela elemental y la escuela intermedia del 3er grado hasta el 8º grado. Take it away, Megan and Lindsay.
Hi, everyone, and thank you to the school district for allowing us this opportunity to really speak about after-school programs to the school community. So thank you, everyone. I am Megan. I work with the New Britain Parks and Recreation Department. I oversee the middle school after-school program, which is called the Exercise the Right Choice After-School Program. My colleague, Lindsay, will speak to the elementary after-school program. They are very similar, but obviously just a few adjustments based on age of the students. So quickly, the Exercise the Right Choice After School program is located in both Pulaski Middle School and Slade Middle School. The program serves students in grades 6 to 8. It is a free after-school program. It's funded by the American Savings Foundation. This program is actually, I want to say it's going into its 27th year, so we have a long existing relationship in the school district. We are located in the building. Typically at both Slade and Pulaski, our hub, our main area that we use is the school cafeteria. In addition, if there is classroom space that the school allows us, we'll use that, and the gymnasium. The program happens immediately after the school day. So when the bell rings, kids report to the cafeteria, and that's when the program begins. We are Monday through Friday, and we go till 6 o'clock each night. There is bus transportation available. The difference with the elementary versus middle is that the bus transportation in the evening for the middle schools is neighborhood stops. So they're general stops in the area that the school districts, that school serves.
Megan, I have a question.
Go ahead.
So if my child wants to go here, but also wants to play a sport, can they do that?
Yes, they can, and they have. We've done this for years. A lot of times kids go and play football, flag football, or they'll play basketball. And then that typically ends like 4:30. And then they come to the after school program right afterwards. And they get to participate in what we're doing and then go home at 6 o'clock. So yes, it has happened, and it worked out really nicely, actually.
Can you also, I have Luz Morales is saying, well, there's no programs for kids with special needs like the transitional center. That is not the case. That's not the case. If you are interested, please email Principal Gerald Lamoni. And because the transition center is so close to Slade and also to Lincoln, Lindsay will talk more about that. That's something that you can do. And you also have another question from Deja Cruz. Can an outplacement district student attend the after-school program?
The students who attend the program have to attend the actual school that the program is being served in.
Thank you. Myra, do you wanna try to attempt? That was long.
Yep.
All right, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
So it's okay. I'm taking notes. Megan presentó el programa de middle school que se llama Exercising the Right Choice, que son para los estudiantes del 6 al 8º grado. Este programa está dentro de las escuelas de Pulaski y Slade, y ellos utilizan la cafetería, clases o también a veces el gimnasio. dependiendo del lugar donde el director dé la autorización. Este programa es gratuito y está en el número, ya va corriendo por 27 años y está disponible para los estudiantes que están actualmente dentro del distrito escolar de New Britain. Una de las preguntas que se hicieron fue que si el estudiante quiere participar en algún tipo de deporte y quiere ser parte del programa para después de la escuela con Parks and Rec, si se puede hacer esto, y la respuesta es sí. Muchos estudiantes usualmente cuando se registran para jugar un deporte participan parte del tiempo con el deporte y luego regresan al programa de Parks and Rec para poder continuar sus clases allí. El programa corre hasta las 6 de la tarde de lunes a viernes y sí hay transportación para los estudiantes. El distrito ofrece transportación para paradas de la comunidad, así que no son hacia la casa, sino paradas de la comunidad para cada estudiante. Y también, déjeme ver aquí, y sí, eso es de lunes a viernes y es gratuito, como se le mencionó.
Yep. Megan, I have another question. Well, actually, it's a question and maybe a comment too. So it is a great program. For as long as I've been in the district, I've been working with Parks and Rec and their study. And, you know, it's a great training ground too for some of our young adults who are maybe interested in education or some kind of public service degree in college. But I also want to plug for them. We are looking for interested people who want to work. And I thought maybe this is a good time to plug that too, Megan, if you want to talk a little bit about that, what an opportunity is.
Yes, thank you for bringing that up. We actually visited New Britain High School today and spoke to the child development classroom. We are in need of staff for our after school programs. So people who are interested in working with children, maybe that's a future career that someone wants to get into. We are currently hiring. Unfortunately, our program was supposed to start on September 20th. We do not have enough staff to operate our after school program. So our new start date is October 4th. So we're hoping in these next few weeks, we're going to get flooded with applications so that we can open all 12 of our locations. So thank you, Nancy, for bringing that up.
And if you have a high school student and they need a job, you're going to encourage them to apply. Or if you're an at-home parent or you want to supplement your income and this is something you'd be interested in, it's in the school, it's a fun experience, it's not full-time. What would the hours be of working, Megan?
Yep, so middle school programming is 2:30 to 6:30, elementary programming is 3 o'clock to 6:30. And again, we follow the school calendar, so when there's no school, we don't have program, things like that.
And it usually ends middle May.
Yes, the end of May. On the books right now, May 27th is the last day. Just quickly before I move on to Lindsay, I just want to let you know that we have registration forms for the Exercise the Right Choice Middle School After School program. They are out in the building, so they're at Pulaski and Slade. They have been distributed to the schools. And if you haven't gotten one, you can also go to the Parks and Rec website and print one out and submit them to our office. The website, just in case anyone wants to print one out, is nbparks.rec.org.
Matt can put it in the chat too for you. Myra, do you want to translate?
Yep. So en este momento, Megan acaba de mencionar que en este momento tenemos las aplicaciones dentro de las escuelas de Pulaski y Slade. Si hay algún padre que está interesado en registrar a su hijo o hija, por favor visita la escuela. También puede entrar a la página de internet de ellos, que es nbparks.rec.org. La página va a estar escrita dentro de del chat para que usted pueda visitar la página, accesar la aplicación y mandársela directamente al departamento de Parks and Rec. También anunciaron que en este momento están buscando personas para trabajar en el programa para después de la escuela. En este momento el programa iba a abrir el 20 de septiembre. Desafortunadamente, como no hay suficiente personal para poder abrir los programas, se ha tenido que atrasar un poco para el 4 de octubre. Así que los programas de Parks and Rec van a abrir el 4 de octubre. Si usted conoce a alguien o usted tiene un estudiante en la escuela de high school o si usted misma necesita o ocupa un trabajo part-time Por la tarde, el programa corre de 2:30 a 6:30 para la escuela de Middle School y para la escuela elemental es de 3 de la tarde a 6:30 de la tarde. El programa de Parks and Rec y los trabajadores corren por el calendario escolar, así que los días que la escuela está abierta, el programa está abierto, los días que el programa cierra es cuando nosotros no son días festivos y nosotros no estamos abiertos. Y es part-time y el último día de trabajo sería mayo 27. Así que si ustedes saben de alguien que esté buscando empleo en este momento, es un empleo igual temporal y part-time que se puede utilizar para poder obtener un poco más de dinero si usted necesita o estaría interesado en obtener un trabajo part-time.
Thanks, Myra. Lindsay, do you want to just give a little overview of the elementary so we can move on to our next partner?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll make this quick so other partners can talk. Megan pretty much covered a lot of the similarities between our programs. The elementary school programs are for students who are in 3rd through 5th grade, and we are going to be in all 10 elementary school sites this year. So that's very exciting. We, like the middle school programs, we do provide bus transportation. The program ends at 6 o'clock and it starts directly after school. So the kids will just come straight from their classroom and just move straight into after school program. Some of the focuses of our program, we really focus on academic support. We focus on activities that are enrichment activities that support school day learning, as well as just general socialization in a really, safe place. We are in the schools Monday through Friday. And because we are in the schools, we are also following all of the district's COVID protocols, as well as all of the building protocols as well. Registration forms did go out to all the schools. They are also available on our website, which Matt had provided into our chat. So you can go on the website and print off a registration form, and all registration can be returned into our office, room 302 in City Hall.
Okay. Al igual que el programa de Middle School que presentó Megan, el programa elemental que acaba de hablar Lindsay es el elemental para los estudiantes del grado 3 al 5. Estos programas están disponibles en todas las 10 escuelas elementales en este momento. Igual son programas gratuitos y se provee transportación. El programa termina a las 6 de la tarde y se les da a los estudiantes actividades que están de acuerdo con el currículum que están trabajando ahorita los estudiantes dentro de sus clases durante el día, y también tienen soporte académico. Ellos también siguen los protocolos de COVID como nosotros dentro de las escuelas, y si usted está interesado, igual como el programa de Middle School, pueden obtener la aplicación dentro de la escuela, o también puede visitar la página de internet de ellos, bajar la aplicación y entregarla en el cuarto número 302 en City Hall. Algo que también queremos mencionarle, los estudiantes también reciben cena. I'm letting them know that there's dinner included as well. Los estudiantes reciben cena aparte de la transportación. Así que cuando la clase termina, el estudiante va directamente a la clase donde van a obtener el servicio de Parks and Rec. El estudiante recibe cena, y también después de las 6 de la tarde, transportación es proveído gratuito para todas las familias.
Thanks. Thank you, Parks and Rec, very much. I hope you get people applying, and I know you'll get kids in the program.
Yes, thank you so much.
I do want to say, Tracy will answer the question as soon as we're done with the providers. I see you have a question around My School Bucks. Jeff will be back on later to talk about that. For Deja and Ms. Rios, Matt, if you could just put my email information in the chat, email me directly about your questions around students with special needs, and I will connect you. All right. Next, we have the infamous Miss Paulette Fox. Go ahead, Myra, you're up.
A continuación, queremos presentarle a la señora Paulette Fox, que es la directora ejecutiva de la organización de OIC. Go ahead, Ms. Fox, take it away.
Good evening. Hola, everybody, and I'm so glad that you're on. We've been running after-school programs for the last 15 years. One of our specialties is our 6th grade Moving Mountains Sullivan Academy, and we're housed off-site at the old St. Anne Catholic School. It is spacious, and the youth love coming there. One of the things I want to share with parents is that we do follow the school district's COVID procedures in the state of Connecticut. We will have our kids will be wearing masks, and we will have the social distance. Your youth will have an opportunity to go outside for math breaks. I am ready to rock and roll on September 20th. Our applications are available. We are set to go. We will be starting with our middle school program. It's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. Thanks to the school district, your kids are from their schools. Slade, Loretto, Pulaski are dropped off at OIC's facility on North Street. They usually arrive about 3 o'clock, and we have programming from 3 o'clock until 5:15. We then escort them out to the bus, and they are dropped off near their houses. One of the things I think is important for parents to realize with middle school, our programs connect the dots. We have a high school program called Moving Mountains Step Up. So once your youth are in our middle school program, they can continue on with OIC with the high school program. And we work with the guidance counselors there to take any youth. It doesn't matter what their capacity is. If they want to come, we will work with them. Our program is open to all types of students that live in New Britain. Of the high school program, those youth receive a half a credit, and they come on Monday, Tuesdays, and Fridays. And Fridays is strictly for the high school students. We do a lot this year. We're preparing them for school and for home and for the world of work. They're able to transition into our summer youth camps and into our summer youth employment, which minimum wage for those who are seniors and have graduated from New Britain High School will make the minimum wage that will be coming up. It's $13 now. It will change. We also have a Saturday program for young men. And what's so important is we know a lot of our families don't have a dad or a positive male figure in the household. We will provide you with that. And they meet 2 Saturdays a month. And we're working with young men that really don't know what they want to do yet, and encouraging them to explore. We bring in speakers. We take them on field trips. They are exposed to what they can do based on what their needs are and what they want to do. And I think that's so important. And they also earn a half credit in that program. Our program is about 130 hours. And in order to get a half credit, they have to do at least 60 hours of instruction. And we monitor that. We have a new program this year that I'm so excited about for middle school kids on Saturday called Me Must Educate, free. And we are going to look at the different cultures. We are going to focus in on diversity. And as many of you parents know, that once they get to high school, they will have to take either African-American culture or history or Latino. That has been a mandate, Nancy, if I'm not mistaken. And we want them to have that feeling and understanding that being who you are is very important. And we're going to run 2 Saturdays a month with that particular program. And I think it's an opportunity for parents to get engaged with it. I'll be seeking you out. A lot of you I know. A lot of you are ex-OICers. Our program has been around for about 15 years, OIC, and we're intergenerational. So I encourage you to come out. You can visit. We are open now. We're open Monday through Fridays right now, so you can come and see our facilities. We are setting up and training our staff. So we are set to go, and I don't want to hog it because a lot of you know I know you. Call me. I will talk to you in person. I'm looking forward to you having your youth participate. If not in OIC, put them in an after-school program. Es muy importante.
Absolutely. And I want, and Mara, I know you want to translate, but OIC is like a home. It's like a family. You go in there. It's just a wonderful experience. It's a place for And let's face it, a lot of our high school kids don't want to be around us. They want to be somewhere off-site, especially away from school, but maybe away from you too as family or guardian, right? And so, and again, there's no one like Paulette, and she'll tell the kids what it is. And she has them coming back and has done that for years and years and years. I think when I retire, I'm going to go work with Paulette. So anyway, and Matt, if you can put Paulette's contact information for OIC in the chat, really send an email to her, give her a call, whatever. We want our high schoolers involved. Now take that, Myra.
El programa que presentó Pale es un programa para estudiantes. Bueno, el programa de ella ha corrido por 15 años y el programa corre dentro de la escuela, de la iglesia Saint Anne Catholic School. El programa ha corrido, como le mencioné, por más de 15 años y corre de lunes a jueves de 3 de la tarde a 5:15 de la tarde. El programa de ellos va a abrir el 20 de septiembre y las aplicaciones están disponibles en la locación de ellos. La información va a estar escrita en el chat para que usted pueda obtener la información de Paulette si se quiere comunicar con ella directamente y también para poder obtener una aplicación si está interesado en el programa. Este programa, como le mencioné, es para personas que están de grados del 6 al 8 y transportación también es disponible para los estudiantes para sus casas. Ella también tiene un programa que se llama Moving Mountains, que es para el programa para estudiantes que están en la escuela de high school. Los estudiantes que se gradúan de la escuela de middle school se traspasan para el programa de high school y continúan trabajando con Paulette. Este programa se ofrece lunes, martes y viernes y aquí se les enseñan a los estudiantes, se les habla sobre empleo y varias cosas que ellos van a necesitar para que ellos sigan progresando en su tiempo de la escuela de high school. El beneficio de este programa es que ellos reciben medio crédito si participan en el programa. Se tiene que completar 60 horas para poder recibir este crédito. Otro programa que ella tiene disponible se llama Many Color, que es un programa para los estudiantes, para los muchachos solamente. Y este programa les ofrece a los muchachos que son personas que a lo mejor no tienen algún tipo de un role model en su casa que les pueda ayudar como un papá. Se les da paseos, también tienen la oportunidad de tener a personas que vienen y hablan con ellos. Igual este programa corre medio crédito si el estudiante termina el total de 60 horas. Y el nuevo programa que ella tiene se llama ME o en otra, como ella mencionó, Must Educate, que mira a las diferentes culturas y la diversidad. Este programa corre 2 veces por mes y en este momento se están aceptando aplicaciones. También se les sugiere a los padres que si pueden o quieren participar y ayudar a los programas, que por favor lo hagan y se comuniquen con Pale, que ella está más que dispuesta y más que orgullosa en tener a personas que vengan, especialmente los padres, para poder participar dentro de los programas y unirse con los estudiantes.
Thank you, Paulette, for coming on. Everyone, really great program. Are we bringing Nick on next to stay with the high school, middle school kind of theme before we bring in the YW? Does that work? Hi, Nick. Thank you for coming on. You moved.
Hi, everybody.
You had the nice stuff in the background.
Yeah, listen, I'm trying to find a spot in my house that works and that's like, free. So we'll see what happens right now.
All right, go ahead. Why don't you just
hello, everybody. My name is Nick Jacobowski. Okay, go right in. My name is Nick Jacobowski. I am the co-executive director of Pathway Senderos. I work with middle school and high school kids, and it was good hearing Paulette just talk about middle school and high school kids because they're a forgotten breed, specifically middle school kids. Over the past 18, 20 months, they've had it real tough. And my program is really here to fill in some gaps. Usually we're very unique. Unlike a lot of other programs, we're not a 9-month intervention. We're a 7-year intervention. I take students that start at the beginning of 6th grade and they stay with me all the way until they graduate high school. And then they really never leave after. And, Superintendent Sarah mentioned something about family. That's really what we pattern ourselves on. We call ourselves a parallel family for our students. So really I'm looking right now for 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. Usually we don't take them in at 8th, but because of the COVID year, we're going to take in 8th graders for one of the first times ever. And we want your kids. You know, our places are safe. We're healthy. We take all the COVID precautions, the same stuff that the district does. And we're looking to get some kids into our program that really want the little extra support that we give. With a program like mine, they start when they're 11, 12 years old. And by the time they graduate high school, they're on to some post-secondary education. They're going to college. They're getting jobs. While they are in our programs, when they're 14 and 15, I actually hire them. When they're 16 and 17, then I give them to Paulette to hire, and OIC, and the YWCA or the HRA to hire. So our program, our students really matriculate through our programs. But what we're really trying to do, and you know, I'm a New Britain kid myself. We're really trying to get these kids from where they are right now in your houses, and we're trying to get them out of your houses. We're trying to get them to be tax-paying citizens. We're trying to get them to be self-sufficient adults. We're trying to get them to be proactive in this world. We're trying to get them to have identities that they're proud of. We're really trying to get them to be proud New Britain High graduates like myself is. And so my program, again, we're down to take anybody. I saw a couple people in the comments asking about special needs or kids with ESL or whatever. We take them all. We do not discriminate about the population of students that we service. We really, really, really want to focus on kids that are looking for that extra little support network, because that's what we provide. We provide it on a daily basis. We are open every day after school. There's buses from every school, thank you, district, to our program. We are free. Everything that we do within our program is free. There is no cost to any family for anything that we do. That includes field trips. That includes the parties, the end of the year parties that we have. It is a free program, and thankfully that our funders understand the importance of that for our families. And one of the main things about our program is your kids never, ever really lose a connection with us. If they stay with me for 7 years, we have a 100% graduation rate of kids that stay within our program. Something that's amazing within the district that we're in. And at times, we really rely on ourselves and rely on our staff to really fill the gaps that a lot of parents don't have. If you're afraid to go to a PPT, if you're afraid to call a teacher, if you're afraid to call a counselor, send them to me. I'll call them for you. We have a lot of pre-existing relationships with the people in the district that we're able to contact them at a moment's notice to be really able to help them. And so when I think about our program, and I'm thankful that Superintendent Sarah had us be able to talk here tonight, I just want to say to you all, come to our programs. You know, put my contact information in there. Call me up and say, hey, Nick, I got a kid. I got a 7th grader, a 6th grader, or an 8th grader that really could use your program, and have them come by.
Okay, you got a question.
We look for kids right now.
Question. Yeah. So, Vanessa. So like Nick said, students with special needs can attend after school programming. So Nick, we're going to put Nick's contact information in here for you. You email Nick, email Paulette, or the Parks and Rec, depending on the age of your child. Also, Eliza Gonzalez says, well, what time is the program from?
So the programs are from, if you're a high school student, you're getting on the bus right after high school and showing up in my program, depending the busing, 2:30 to 2:45. And same thing with the middle school. As soon as middle school gets over, you're there within a half hour. And then I bring them home. I have 2 vans that I actually transport the kids. I'm literally one of the drivers. And I will transport your kid right to your doorstep anytime between 4:45 and 5:45, depending on the day. So that is of no cost to any parent. And so they come right after school. We give them snack. We talk about a variety of things. I mean, it's pretty much, it's kind of redundant saying the same things all the other programs do, because we do very similar things, but at the same time, we do it in a very unique pathway-centric way.
And again, a really nice option. I mean, Nick and Paulette are outside of the school and servicing our kids, and some kids prefer to be away from the school and sitting in a smaller setting. I'm telling you, and they're not kidding. They will help you navigate the school if you're struggling with the school. So it's a good network, a good partnership to have with them. So Jalitza, you're going to check out Pathways. Matt's going to put the address for you in the chat box. And Myra, do you want to start translating?
La presentación que se acaba de dar es de Nick Jakubowski, que es el co-director ejecutivo de la organización Pathways Senderos. Pathways Senderos es una organización que trabaja con estudiantes de la escuela middle school y también la escuela high school. Los estudiantes que empiezan con Pathways usualmente empiezan del 6th grado y siguen hasta que los muchachos se gradúan de la high school. El programa corre durante el año completo, ellos nunca cierran. Y también ellos ofrecen transportación, asistencia académica y también ayudan a los padres si hay algún tipo de necesidad, si se tienen que comunicar con algún maestro, algún director o tienen algún problema escolar. Nick Jakubowski dice que él está más que dispuesto y disponible para poder brindarles cualquier asistencia que ustedes necesiten. Para el programa de los estudiantes de high school, los estudiantes que empiezan de 16 para arriba pueden obtener trabajos durante el verano y usualmente los trabajos se ofrecen dentro de la organización de HRA, también de la organización del YWCA o como mencionó Paulette anteriormente en la organización de ella de OIC, que pueden ser contratados para trabajar durante el verano y usualmente son $13 la hora lo que se le pagan a los muchachos. Él, como mencionó, él enseña varias cosas también como para ayudar a los estudiantes que sean más independientes y también para poder darles lo que ellos necesitan para poder ser adultos que sean successful durante el año escolar y después de que se gradúan. El porcentaje de graduación del programa que cuando termina el programa con él es un porcentaje muy alto de graduación y él está, como le mencioné, él está abierto después de la escuela hasta de 4:45 a 5:45 de la tarde. Él mismo deja a los estudiantes en sus casas, así que transportación no va a ser un problema. Si usted necesita transporte para su hijo o hija, él mismo es el que deja a los estudiantes enfrente de su casa. Usted puede llamarle a él o comunicarse con él en la información que acaban de escribir en la pantalla para poder inscribir a su estudiante si necesita más información o si usted gustaría registrar al estudiante de usted.
Thank you, Myra. Thank you, Nick. And again, don't forget, we're still looking for people who want to work some of these programs too. We want to make sure that we've got qualified people. And I think Joanna's the next one, right? Figueroa. And then I think, and while we're bringing Joanna on, I do want to say to our families, this is the YWCA, but we also have before and after school care for our littlest kiddos with the YMCA and the YWCA. Joanna, if you could talk a little bit about what you do on site and then also in the buildings, and then we'll give you contact information for the YM who wasn't able to make it tonight. Okay, go ahead.
So I will first begin with speaking about our school age program. Primero voy a empezar a hablar de la programa de school age, que es para de kindergarten hasta quinto grado. So that's for kindergarten to fifth grade. And that program is before and after school. Este programa para después de la escuela, pero también antes de la escuela. Ese programa no es gratis, pero tienen asistencia financiera. That program is not free, but we do have financial aid programs, which I believe I don't know, you guys still doing that in the district, but anyways, I'm not going to talk too much about that because that's not my program, but you can always reach out to me, ask me questions, because I used to be one of the supervisors for that program, but we decided to split middle school and high school, and then elementary is its own little monster. So si tienen más preguntas de la programa de School Age, me pueden llamar o mandarme un email y te puedo ayudar, pero la directora se llama Brittany y no pudo estar aquí esta noche, pero pueden llamarme a mí. Her name is Brittany. She's the new director for the school age program. When does Strive start? I'm going to get there. I see somebody already wrote in the chat. So now I will go to my Strive and House of Teens program, which I am the coordinator for both of those programs. And they are all female program or female identifying youth or gender non-binary. We changed the wording because we noticed in the past year that we had a lot more gender fluidity in our programs, and we wanted to make sure that all of the students that can be in our program know that they are welcome and invited. So I don't know how to say that in Spanish, but if you want to say that after Myra, that's fine. But I will say in both of our programs, we do lessons on healthy versus unhealthy relationships, college and career exploration. For the high school is college and career development. And we also provide 45 minutes to an hour of academic assistance and or tutoring by our staff that are on site. let's see. Okay, so las dos programas, la programa de Strive, estamos en Slade y Pulaski Middle School para los grados sexto hasta octavo, y es solamente para niñas. Porque somos el YWCA y tenemos todos los programas para mujeres y niñas en la comunidad. So, en la Strive y House of Teens es para estudiantes, solamente para niñas que van para New Britain High School. Si van para E.C. Goodwin o Satellites Academy, pueden venir, pero no tenemos transportación para ellos. We take New Britain High School students, E.C. Goodwin, or any other New Britain resident who goes to a high school. The only thing is, if they do not attend New Britain High School, they do not get transportation after school. So if you can get your child there, or they can get there themselves because they're teens and they're more independent, then they are more than welcome to come to our program. The only thing that we ask is that they do have to be a New Britain resident. So you cannot live outside of the city.
So Joanna, but if the student goes to Satellite Career Academy,
Yes,
which is
Satellite Career. Yes.
Satellite Career, New Britain High, Transition Center,
Yes, all of them.
Brookside, those are our high schools. We will transport the kids there. We can't speak. EC is a state school.
Yeah,
so
that's completely separate.
It's different.
We've had only 2 students from there, but they figured out their own transportation and they wanted to keep coming. So, like I said, if you live in New Britain and you want to keep coming, if you were in Strive before, then we are very open to that. I want to just share one difference from the middle school to the high school, or a few differences. Voy a hablar de un poco de las diferencias de la programa de Strive que está en el middle school, del House of Teens, y la diferencia es que estamos en las escuelas, tenemos un clase ahí todos los días, lunes, martes, jueves y viernes, y los miércoles no tenemos programa, y los sábados vamos a tener programa en la 60 de la East Street, y va a ser de las 10 hasta las 2 los sábados. So one of the differences between Strive and House of Teens is that Strive is in the middle schools, and we have a designated classroom or space at Slade and Pulaski, and it is Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Wednesdays we don't have program, versus House of Teens, which is at 600 East Street. The only time Strive is at 600 East Street is for our Saturday programming that we are starting up again from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And also we partner with Roots, and we have a gardening program, and they do hopefully some nutritional cooking. But obviously because of COVID, the teacher will come in and cook for them. She will be the only one cooking. They get to eat, and then they get to take the ingredients home and make it with their family. So we think that's going to be awesome, because then they get to cook for you guys for once. Okay, so una de las diferencias de la programa de Strive es que tenemos un programa con Roots, que hacen los jardines en la comunidad, y también hacemos clases de cocina se llama Miss Rita, que viene de Roots 2 veces cada mes, y también, pues ella es la única que viene que no trabaja con YWCA. So Miss Rita is the only one that we partner with right now from Roots, which Roots has a lot of different gardens in the community that will be like our only other guest coming in person that doesn't work for the YWCA. So now I'll focus more on the House of Teens. Like I said, there's a lot of similarities when it comes to homework assistance, doing lessons and discussions on healthy versus unhealthy relationships, a lot of women and girl empowerment focused. And also we have included more things to talk about gender identity. That's a very important thing to our youth. And also just focusing things that teach them about LGBTQ community. That's been a really big topic that especially our teens have really wanted to spend a lot of time on. So we've definitely made some more of our lessons and curriculum to to focus on that, because we're all about youth voice and youth choice, which everyone has been part of this panel. But if they attend the House of Teens program, we do have a program where we can provide them with a gym credit or a health credit, and that is 60 hours for half a credit. And that would be only one component of our program. We also will provide a half a credit as an elective for our community service projects that we do in the community. And one of our very pretty, I guess you could say, famous projects that we've been doing for over 10 years is Photo Voice. And that is one of the projects that if teens participate in it, they can get credit for it for their capstone, or like I said, as an elective. So that's the biggest difference between Strive and House of Teens, is they can get credit for high school in the program versus Strive. Oh, and I forgot to say, it's Monday through Thursday for House of Teens until 5:30 versus, like I said, Strive is not on Wednesdays. It's the same time as Parks and Rec. We share a bus with them after a program. We also have the free dinner and snack each day.
Joanna,
yes.
Can we put your contact information in there? Because I want to respect people's times. It's getting late. And all of our programs are great.
Yes.
But Matt, if you could put Joanna's contact information, again, another great program for any of our youth that identify as female. And Joanna is there for you, and she'll answer any questions you have if you just shoot her an email. I do want to, I see Tracy. Jeff, if you could pop on for a minute and answer Tracy's questions.
I can, because I can give an update that Tracy already knows. She signed up for insurance. So she actually got her way through, got 3 actual purchases, which is great to see. And Tracy, you had mentioned, though, looking for the charger itself. Now, as I said that you're going to have insurance, what you can do is make the insurance claim through that student tech help form. Just give me a minute here, but for you, it's going to check that you have insurance and then give you an offering to choose to use one of those. So if that's the way you want to go about it. But just to answer the question in general, if you are looking for a particular device, filter to the technology services, and that should clean up things for sale and just limit it to a few that are there readily available for purchase. I don't know if Myra, if you want to translate that part, or if you want to wait for me to just say, if you are having trouble getting in to My School Bucks, to go to the help link up at the top of the website, the tippity top for parent help. That is a form that basically will jump you right over to the illustrious DAB website we used to use a lot of, and from there basically fill out that you're having trouble getting into the My School Bucks so we can reach out to you.
Thank you, Jeff. And I want to just say to Ms. Stolings that your son's, your app should be working now. That came in from Rich Valerio. 2 things in closing, and then Mara, I'll have you translate. 1, we're going to take a break for next week. We're not going to meet, but we will meet on the next week, which is September, I think it's September 22nd. It is September 22nd. We'll go back to some COVID updates. There was really nothing new to report today regarding any kind of, I do want you to know, I did email the State Department of Education. They, the day after we spoke last week, waiting for their response regarding any kind of quarantine absence as an excused absence. I have not heard back. I will let you know, hopefully by the 22nd, they'll have responded with either a yay or a nay. The other thing is, you've got my email, Matt, if you don't mind throwing your email in there too. If there are other topics that you want to talk about on these town halls, just shoot us an email, say, hey, can we talk about this? And I'll turn it over to Myra.
El señor Jeff Prokoff acaba de mencionar que si está teniendo algún problema en poder acceder a la página de Help Link, usted puede entrar a la página de la página escolar de nosotros y va a haber una, usted puede entrar utilizando el Help Link, que lo va a llevar directamente a la página de DAB, y ahí usted puede obtener el formulario también. Si está teniendo problemas con entrar a Power School y accesarlo por esa forma. También la CSDNB quiso dejarles saber a todos que para la semana que viene no va a haber reunión, pero en el 22 de septiembre vamos a tener nuestra próxima junta con nuestros padres de nuevo. Ella también les quiso dejar saber que ella le mandó un correo electrónico al Departamento de Educación del Estado sobre las ausencias debido a COVID y en este momento no ha recibido respuesta, pero espera que para el 22 tenga alguna respuesta sobre esa pregunta. En cuanto ella sepa, ella se los va a dejar saber a todos para que sepan la respuesta si aceptaron y aprobaron en no contar esos días contra el estudiante o si se va a mantener igual como ellos mencionaron desde el principio. También ella puso su correo electrónico. Si ustedes quieren hablar sobre otros temas en estos tipos de videos, por favor, mándenos esos temas por correo electrónico y ella estaría más que contenta en poder utilizar esas sugerencias para poder orientarnos para los próximos temas que seguirán después de estos.
Thank you, thank you. Everyone have a safe night. I'm going to just say it one time, vaccines are the way for us to get back to normal. But we will be here back on the 22nd. Shoot us an email if there's something you want to hear. Stay safe, and we're glad to have your kids back. Thank you.